9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid.
But you see how much kidnappers are taking from victims.
My thing is, government should, I think all the stakeholders in that get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your energy will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Tuesday edition of Inside Nigeria. Today, Tuesday, 12 April 2022. As usual, I have with me our guest analyst, Atekojo Samson, a lawyer, journalist, and public affairs analyst who works with the Daily Post newspaper. Good morning, Mr. Atekojo.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you once again. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, I'll be joined remotely by other guests to weigh in on issues of the day. But before that, let's quickly look at the front pages of the newspapers we have for you today, starting with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, The Leadership. On the front page of Leadership this morning, 2023 Presidential Declaration, APC governors caught between Osinbajo, Tinubu. 2023 Presidential Declaration, APC governors caught between Osinbajo, Tinubu. We will pick the best according to APC governors. Tinubu disowned Osinbajo as political godson. Excitement in states over VP's declaration. And of course, the last rider to this story is saying 2023 elections may not hold if insecurity persists, according to the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. Mr. Tekoju, the APC governors have been boxed to a corner. Do you believe that?
Yeah. Well, very interesting. As the nation approached or moves towards the general election, so many things will be unfolding. And given that the vice president, who has been silent all this while, his silence has become a source of concern to the political class than speaking out, because they really want to. So everybody has been living in suspicion all this while until yesterday that he officially came out to declare his intention to contest for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2023. And in doing that, he had a meeting with the APC governors, had a ITFA with them on Sunday evening, consulted with them sufficiently before coming out to make a declaration. Yeah, that declaration sent jitters down the spine of all the political class. And after that declaration, the national leader had what I call panic meeting, with the governors in order to douse.
Or was that a panic meeting because Osinbajo, the night earlier, also met with the APC governors?
Exactly. And it was a robust interaction, though was held behind closed doors. But there are, hints here and there that it was a good and robust discussion he had with them. So that was why he's a political godfather, though he has denied him, quickly rally around to assemble the governors at KB Government House and to also declare his intention. And in between Tinubu and Osinbajo, truly, as the paper puts, the governors are in a serious contraction. Very, very serious. Because
A kind of dilemma.
exactly,
They don't know to go for whether Tinubu or Osinbajo.
exactly. And it's normal in politics anyway. It's normal in politics because if you look at the quality of the vice president and you look at the overwhelming influence of the national leader, honestly speaking, they are in political dilemma. But you know what? Be that as it may, so many factors are going to be taken into consideration because I personally watch channels news at 10 yesterday evening, and I saw jubilation. Somebody declared, and you see people rolling out drops in Kano, in Port Harcourt, in Lagos,
You're talking of Ushibajo. All right, hold it there. Let me quickly show you the front page of the THISDAY newspaper, because there are guests waiting for me remotely to also weigh on this issue. Let's see what we have on the front page of THISDAY newspaper this morning, before my guests will join me from remote location. On the front page of THISDAY this morning, Tinubu, the zone Oshibajo, says he has no son grown enough to declare for president, although that same thing is a rider on the front page of leadership. But before you talk, I've been joined by Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi, an APC chieftain and trustee of Oshibajo Grassroots Organization, and as well as Comrade Adeboye Adebayo, spokesperson Asiwaju Beyond 2023 project. Good morning, gentlemen. But I'm starting with Comrade Adeboye Adebayo, spokesperson of the Asiwaju Beyond 2023 project. Comrade Adebayo, is it true that your camp was rattled yesterday when Vice President Yemi Oshibajo declared to contest for president?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator. And good morning, Nigerians. I can hear you.
All right, go ahead.
I can hear you.
Okay, did you hear my question?
Yes. I say good morning to every Nigerian. Yes, I can hear very clearly.
All right, let me ask you again. I said, is it true
Should
that
I go
the
on?
Asiwaju camp, which you represent, was rattled yesterday when Vice President Yemi Oshibajo declared to become the president? All right, seems we're having a problem with connection with Comrade Adeboye Adebayo, spokesperson Asiwaju Beyond 2023 project. Hello, Comrade Adebayo. All right, let me go to Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi of the Oshibajo Grassroots Organization. Engineer, I hope you hear me loud and clear. But I think we are having challenges with our audio. You give me a few seconds. I'll go on a short break, use it, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
Let's go on a short break.
Okay.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
All right, welcome back. It's still Inside Nigeria for this Tuesday morning, April 12, 2022. Now, let me go back to Comrade Adeboye Adebayo, spokesperson for Asiwaju Beyond 2023 project. Now, I asked you that, was it true that your camp was rattled yesterday when Vice President Yemi Oshibajo declared to become president in 2023?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator. And good morning, viewers. Yes, like I used to say, there is nobody in this country that this nation can rattle our account. Honestly, and that is a fact. Our principal, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has come a long way. You can testify to it that since 1999 till date, he has become a factor in national politics, both at the regional level and also at the national level. So there is no declaration whatsoever, that can make him rattle in our account. So we are not rattled in any way, honestly.
All right, so quickly now with this declaration of Vice President, a former political godson of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of dynamics about 2023 presidential election have changed. So tell us, how far can Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu go to secure the party's ticket? Oh, I see.
How far is what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
How far is what? How far is what?
Okay, I said with the declaration of the Vice President to contest for the 2023 election, the dynamics have changed. So how far can Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu go to secure the ticket?
His chances is very bright, like the 1 p.m. sun. The declaration of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the Vice President is qualified to contest. Like I told a lot of people, we have a lot of bright, stars in the APC that can become president in Nigeria, and that he will do very well. But the only thing is that the leadership of the party will still analyze every issue and look out for the best. That is still a best among the equal. So the chances of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's our own principal is as bright as a brand new day. We are not perturbed, we are not worried. We don't discuss people. We discuss quality, we discuss competence, we discuss visionary leaders. You will react that can identify people, train them and send them to the field to perform. You can be rest assured that such person is a leader of leaders. So we are not perturbed, and his chances is as bright as I can tell you.
All right, I will come back to you briefly. Let me go to Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi of the Osinbajo Grassroots Organization. Engineer Mike, let me ask you, I know you are not surprised that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu disowned his former political godson, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, because you once told me sometime last year on this program that Osinbajo does not belong to any political family. So now let me ask you straightforward, how far can Osinbajo go this contest to secure the party's ticket against the backdrop that his former godfather is in the race?
Thank you very much. I like the way you journalists are having a festival of opportunities and takes in this place. It seems like you guys are enjoying this a lot, and we are enjoying it. I mean, this is what we all struggled for many years when we were under the jackboots of militations as the military. We wanted an opportunity to participate in our own democracy, to choose our own leaders, to advocate our own points, and then to be able to support anybody that we so wish to support. So I celebrate all Nigerians, and I congratulate all Nigerians that yesterday the Vice President, whom they all have been waiting for. In fact, you will find out that many people that supported Asiwaju Tinubu prior to yesterday were waiting for the Vice President. And a lot of them have been contacting me. They've been rejoicing with us. They've been rejoicing with Nigerians, all Nigerians, that we now have an high-quality candidate in the race that will give us the true choice. Every Democrat should be happy that the Vice President who has had almost 8 years experience now, job, supporting the president, and who also, by virtue of his position, will also be the only person on the field that would have been a president before, since he was acting president and acting commander-in-chief in this last, in a very short period in this last 7 years. That we have the benefit of his experience, the benefit of his insight, the capacity that he has built across the country to govern, to support, and to allow Nigerians to be able to live the future that they deserve. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, the vice president chances are bright. Everybody knows it. By virtue of his position as a loyal and distinguished vice president, he is the default nominee of the ruling party. And we welcome everybody to advocate their own position if you think otherwise. But I'm very, very certain that when the chips are down, when we are going to be making that decision in a few weeks' time to submit a name to INEC, that the name that will be submitted to INEC is that of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, DCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the next President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, Engineer Mike, let me take you up on this. The Vice President declared there were reactions. Like my guest said earlier, some people were jubilating across the state. There were also critics who said, well, some of the claims in the Vice President's declaration speech were false. And the first one is that he claimed to have visited all the 774 local governments in Nigeria, and they said that was not true. Let me hear your take on that.
I listened to the same speech. I think we are nitpicking here. I believe the verb or the adjective that the vice president used before the verb was nearly almost. So you are a student of English. You know he is referring to the fact that he has been to almost all 774 local governments in Nigeria. And if you witnessed his national barnstorming, of which we also saw that he almost survived. He survived an helicopter crash in the run-up to the 2019 elections. Nobody will doubt that. This vice president is a man on ground. He's been everywhere. He's the man that the president has designated.
Hello, Engineer Mike, are you still there?
Your signal has some problem. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I said this vice president is a vice president that has been on ground. He has been everywhere. He's been the hemisphere of the president. And he's been the hemisphere of the party, the hemisphere of progressivism, taking the gospel of progressive policies, social investment policy, the largest in Africa and substantially the south of the hemisphere of the world, to every nook and crannies of Nigeria, taking the gospels of infrastructure that the president has pushed and preached to every nook and crannies of Nigeria, taking the gospel of the system from high corruption to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, taking the gospel of securing Nigerians despite our issues, of ensuring that Nigeria takes back 13 local government areas from Boko Haram, of dismantling Sambisa Forest. This vice president has taken that gospel to every nook and cranny of Nigeria. So if you want to debate 774 local governments of Nigeria, I welcome you. If he has not been to your local government, I can assure you that in the next 9 months, as we go on an intensive campaign, the vice president will be at your doorstep. He's a man that is open. He's a man that is energetic. He's a man that is available. He has the brains and capacity, and he has the track record of delivery. Yes, he is the man that led the social investment program revolution, and nobody can take that from him. The vice president has shown capacity. He has shown capability.
All right, thank you, Engineer Mike. So let me come to Comrade Adebayo. Comrade, are you aware, according to our report this morning on the front page of Leadership, if you have not seen it, it will be shown to you shortly, that the decision of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to contest and that of his former political godson, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, has put the governors of the party in a tight corner. And according to the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum yesterday, after their meeting with Tinubu, I'm talking of Governor Atiku Bagudu, he said the party might go for consensus. Now, what happened if eventually, based on consensus, your principal is not choosing as the presidential candidate of the party? What happens?
You cannot preempt the situation, because the sterling qualities that will be considered for the party, to have a consensus candidate is basically the ability to win elections seamless in 2023. And come to think of it, there is nobody that has declared, to contest for that election that has that capacity, give our party victory blessedly, at the poll in 2023. So the issue of consensus, if the party is considering consensus, I can tell you authoritatively that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only person that possess the style qualities that can be considered, for a consensus within our party. So the governors, they are leaders of the party. They are part of the organs of the party, that decide a lot of things. And I know they are not ignorant of the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only person that has political infrastructure that cut at every political parties in Nigeria, that cut across every ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, and he's the only person that can give us a seamless victory at the poll. So if consensus is being considered, then I believe that the party will not miss it. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only candidate, that has the capacity, to navigate the 2023 election and give us victory seamlessly at the poll. So if consensus is being considered, I believe it will be narrowed down.
All right. Many thanks to you, Comrade Adebayo. Now let me come to Comrade Mike, Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi. Engineer, I hope you heard Comrade Adebayo very well, that even if consensus option will be the last resort, the party will not miss it and it will go for the best, which in his own estimation is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But Engineer, let me tell you something. There is a school of thought that believe the party may not want to offend both critical stakeholders of the party, that is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who no doubt contributed a lot to the formation and development of APC, and even the vice president, who has served for 7 years now, is a critical stakeholder. And at the end of the day, the party may not want to offend either one of them, and the party might go for a dark horse at the end of the day. What happens? No Tinubu, no Osinbajo.
The selection of a candidate for a party is driven by a lot of factors. The number one factor a party will consider is the candidate that can deliver at the general election. The candidate that will make victory not just easy, but feasible. Nigeria has a choice before her. Do we take a step back into the past, or do we look into the future? I think it is very clear to anybody that is looking that the vice president represents the future, and that the vice president is the best candidate for the All Progressive Congress as we head into the general election. He's a man that I can say resoundingly will beat any opposition candidate, even in their own ward, even in their own local government, even in their own state. Everybody knows this. The vice president runs, and you are going to get additional 10 million young Nigerians to vote. At the last polls, we had just 27 million Nigerians that voted, of over 85 million that got registered. I can assure you that if the vice president runs, we will have more than 40 million Nigerians that will vote at the general election. And those new votes are going to all go for the All Progressive Congress candidate. But if we have any of the old horses who we have all seen and who have indicated their intention to run for president, because last I checked, even my friend Yaya Bello is running for election. Governor Umahi is running for election. Different people are running. Even Ojikalu is running for election. So we cannot ignore them. if we present any of these people who represent the past, the dodgy past of Nigeria, which we are trying to move forward from, number one, it's going to be the past versus the past, because we know the PDP is going to present the past. And when you have the past versus the past, then no new voter will come to vote. And it will be a fight among the traditional blocs. And the APC will risk losing the general election. Number two, the second consideration in choosing a presidential candidate is he who is best able to continue the work that you've already started. Who is best to continue the work of the president than the man that have assisted him up until this point? Who is best to continue the work of the president than the man that almost lost his life campaigning for these ideas? Who is best to continue this work than the man who used to be the acting president of this country? We cannot afford somebody to be learning on the job. Being the governor of Lagos is not the same as being the president of Nigeria. And talking about network, the vice president and the president are the only ones in Nigeria that have the mandate of one. Their constituency is not Lagos. Their constituency is not Abia. Their constituency is not Imo. Their constituency is not Ebonyi. Their constituency, by the grace of God, is not Kogi State. The constituency of the vice president of Nigeria is the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 774 local governments of Nigeria, 36 states of Nigeria, with the Federal Capital Territory. Every Nigerian home and abroad is a constituency of the vice president. And I think there's nobody that is in doubt that he is a man that is nationalistic in outlook. The last point, that any kind of arrangement, be it direct, indirect, or consensus we consider, is going to be this. Can the APC afford that we have a lame duck president for the next 1 year? What is the security implication? Who does the CBN, NNPC, the chiefs of staff report to if we decide to choose a candidate in less than 45 weeks that is not within the hierarchy of government? Are we making our security situation worse? Are we endangering our lives and properties? Are we endangering our economy by choosing somebody that does not even have residency within the government as a potential, perhaps, next president? I don't think the APC will make that mistake. The president, by the way, knows that there's only one man that will not throw him under the bus. The tendencies of the other APC candidates, by the way, is to run against the president from the next 5 weeks. I can assure you, the president will not allow it. The president does not have a say in the person that becomes their successor in their individual states. I don't think a lot of them will have a say as to who is going to become the successor of the president. The president will have a very big say as a big stakeholder in succession planning, as every leader should do. And I think we all know who the president is going to select as his potential successor. That is already given because he has a vice president.
All right. Comrade Adeboye, I don't know if you want to respond to some of the issues raised by Engineer Adeboye.
Oluwadele, please.
All right. Comrade Adeboye, I don't know if you want to respond to some of the issues raised by Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi. Do you want to respond? Comrade Adeboye, can you hear me? I don't know if you have something to say to some of the issues raised by Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi. Some of the issues. Go ahead, please. All right. Many thanks to you, Comrade Adeboye spokesperson, Asiwaju, Beyond 2023 Project, and Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi, APC chieftain and trustee, Oshibajo Grassroots Organization. I appreciate both of you for your invaluable insights this morning, and we hope to see both of you whenever the need arises. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Right. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. So you had both of them, interesting debates between the Oshibajo and the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting argument between the two parties. each of them are fronting for their various principles. So, be that as it may, we, the citizens, we also have our own perspective of the happenings. And that is that the level the nation has reached now, Nigerians are expecting the best among them. And I also do not forget that the opposition party, the PDP, are also waiting in the wings to grab power. And if you look at the political developments over time, it seems as if the opposition party are running ahead of time. I think from what is happening within them, they have already adopted a consensus mode of generating their candidates, the PDP. And also, like you said, in the ruling APC, the two critical stakeholders, the vice president and the national leader of APC, these are very highly placed persons in APC. And their influence cannot be underestimated. So if the APC decide to adopt a consensus, the way it, because consensus will lessen kind of a rancor. Tension. That's tension. You know, preparatory to that time, there might be tension, but once a decision is taken, it seems to now begin to douse tension. Like you see during the National Congress, where Senator Abraham came from nowhere to overrun all the frontline runners, you know, as a result of that consensus. And I see the APC adopted that same method. But in doing that, so many things will be taken under consideration. I wanted to say before the two gentlemen came in. Because one, who has the capacity, you know, to generate winning votes for the party? Because what is sacrosanct at this level is that APC wins election. And that is what they will look at. And, you know, and in looking at that, already the vice president has shown some elements of capacity to govern the country, and Nigerians are taking cognizance of that. That's a fact. Right? If you look at the celebration or whatever, like I was saying, which your paper confirmed, it is in leadership confirmed. So they'll take that into consideration. Because the issue of you know, the national leader trying to disown his godson and other things, when it comes to real politics and politics, that relationship won't be taken into consideration. And I know that APC as a political party, once they have decided to adopt any of the two persons, because for now, these are the two leading aspirants in APC. Every other person are just, you know, trying to hit the rock to see whether the water will be able to come out. Everything. So in doing that, I'm sure as they are adopting, they also have their mechanism to appeal to the other persons. I think that's what is going to play out. It's possible, but I'm afraid. But you also find one person. Yes, but you also know that you know, recently the national leader threatened that if anything will hamper his aspiration, lifelong aspiration. Yeah, that is going to play dirty, and you know, a lot of threats here and there. So I'm sure as time unfolds, so many things will come to. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and see how issues will unfold. But viewers, don't go away. We'll go on a short break. We'll come back and show you the last paper we have on our menu this morning. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-3333 6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. It's still Inside Nigeria. Now let's look at the front page of our sister publication, The National Economy. On the front page of National Economy this morning, Nigerians still paying more for cement, rice, despite protectionist policies. Nigerians still paying more for cement, rice, despite protectionist policies. Prices of cement, rice increased by over 100% after federal government ban on importation to encourage local production and consumption. Now, I don't know.
Body is the development in the Nigerian economy is a sad one. Very, very sad. Very, very sad because the price of cement today is so high that an ordinary person cannot afford to put blocks by block build anywhere. And this is a pure privately driven part of the economy. And how can the federal government come up with a protective policy of banning the importation of cement? How many cement factories do we have in Nigeria?
That will service local consumption.
That will service local consumption. That will service over 200 million persons. That at least approximately maybe 100 million persons may have opportunity to build houses. So we don't have enough cement factories in Nigeria to service this country at all. I don't know where they get their own statistics, or they did that to advance the business interest of the elite. I think that is the way I see it. Because I knew when I started my building in the village, put blocks, I think I bought cement for 1,200 or so. After that, I said, okay, let me go and get myself prepared. I'll come back. Before I could come back, the cement has become so high that the way I started, that was how I left it. That is exactly what is happening. Even the issue of a so-called local rice production, to today, the price of rice has not come down at all. It tells you that all is not well in that our agricultural policies. So why can't government look at this and say, okay, in order to lessen or to mitigate the difficulties Nigerians are passing through in the cost of buying rice, because rice is consumed by every other person.
It's a staple food.
Yeah, it's a staple food. So we don't have enough local production for the locals to consume as far as our rice production is concerned. So government need to allow to open up importation, but the importation could be well teleguided. That is to say, you look
instead of closing the borders.
Yeah, exactly. Now you look at the quantity of consumption per year, and you look at also the quantity of our own production per year. So if it can't aggregate with the demands, then you open borders and allow some quantity to be imported. That's how to aggregate it. But the complete banning is injurious to our economy. The complete banning of cement is also injurious to our economy. Okay, how can you allow an individual to sell a bag of cement as high as 5,000 or so? A private firm producing cement sells a bag for 5,000 per bag. And if you look at it, the demand is so high that these people are reaping profits upon profits in thousands, in millions of naira. So honestly, it's very sad. And in that context, the country cannot develop at all, because we need cheaper cost of cement for us to develop our infrastructure.
Housing sector.
Exactly. So it's so sad. And I'm sure, as the economy quoted, I'm sure if you take time to assess the price of cement, it's even higher than that 100% that was quoted, at least from my own perspective.
Now, these protection policies are meant to protect Nigerians.
The local
producers of cement and rice farmers.
Yes.
But it's hurting us again.
So it's the
No
hurt is even more terrible than what government want to achieve.
So there should be a rethink.
Of course, if they open up the production of cement, the local factories will still do better because there's high demand of cement.
Exactly.
There's high demand.
It's a country of over 200 million people. Well,
So it's so sad. It is one of the worst policy that President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has ever introduced. The banning of cement and the banning of rice. Importation.
When we don't have the local capacity.
Yeah, okay, the last 7 years, you have banned the importation of cement, you have banned the importation of rice. Then have we benefited anything from that policy? If no, why can't you reverse it? Why can't you reverse it? So how much is the cost of bag now? How much is the cost of bag of cement? How much is the cost of bag of rice now? And they don't even take into consideration that, look, this policy that is injurious to the economy will determine whether the Nigerians will vote for our party or not. They don't take that into consideration. They thought all is well.
All is not well.
I think the chief economist to the nation should be able to tell Mr. President.
The economic advisor to the president.
Exactly, yeah, the economic advisor to the president should tell him the whole truth that, look, we need to reassess this policy and see how we can change the whole system, because as it is, the policy is not in favor of Nigerians at all. And so it's so sad, honestly. It's so sad.
All right. We have to leave it as that because of want of time, and I hope policymakers concerned may actually get a copy of National Economy today to have a
then again, why is the National Assembly
in all this?
Why is the National Assembly keeping quiet over some of the difficulties that Nigerians are passing through?
I think they are speaking out on insecurity.
Yeah.
They're speaking out.
On security they are speaking out. On security they are speaking out, but it's not only about security. We need to eat. We need to eat.
Yes, food first. Many times too. Atekojo Samson Usman, lawyer, public affairs analyst, and journalist with Daily Post newspaper. And let me also appreciate Engineer Mike Oluwagbemi and Comrade Adeboye Adebayo, who joined us earlier remotely. My name remains Odegbadebo. We can with us tomorrow for the midweek edition of Inside Nigeria. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.